All right, guys, so I'm going to show you guys today's exercise real quickly for those of you that might be a little bit confused or a little bit hesitant on getting started. So what I'd like you guys to do is go ahead and first thing is you're going to go ahead and find one colored pencil. It could be any colored pencil, and you're just going to go ahead and set it up. Now, I want you guys to set it under good lighting, so if you have a lamp or something like that, just make sure it has good highlights and shadows, good cast shadow, because you're going to try to recreate that to make it look as realistic as possible. Okay, after you do that, what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and I just want you to very lightly sketch out what it looks like proportionally. Okay, so how wide is it? How long is the pencil? Now it can be just slightly smaller. If you like to make it smaller, that's fine too. But I'm just going to lightly kind of give myself guidelines, making sure that it's not going to be too flat, too skinny, too thick. All right, whatever I need to do to get it to look realistic. That's the entire exercise today, is to achieve the illusion of realism, okay? I'm also gonna just very lightly sketch in where that cast shadow is, because that's gonna only heighten that illusion today as well. Now, it is important, guys, that you do understand that you're not going to sketch this in too dark, all right? Because you don't want your pencil outlines to overwhelm what you're actually gonna shade, okay? All right, after you do that, what I want you to do now is I want you to go ahead and you're gonna choose a few colors that are not the same color as this pencil. So as I kind of look right now, all right, I'm working from like a gray pencil. I'm actually gonna choose 3 colors, one of them being white. All right, the other 2 colors, again, I would suggest finding 2 colors that are in the same family. So don't choose a purple and a green, or a red, and a green, or a blue and an orange. Choose colors that are similar. So I've chosen to work with 2 colors that are kind of like fire colors, are in the same color family. They're both warm colors. So a lighter color and a darker color, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and, just as the steps show me, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna shade everything, all right, except for my highlight. Now it is important as I'm doing this to understand, let me tilt it to you so you can see where the highlight is and where the shadow is. So I can see, and I'm not gonna do the whole thing, so I want you guys to do it, that there's a highlight here right in the middle, and I'm gonna leave that highlight alone, all right? That also means, since I'm leaving that highlight alone, that there are gonna be areas where there are more darks. Okay, so I can see that even though I know I have a darker color, I'm gonna want to pour in a little bit more contrast right now. So right here, it's just slightly darker in this area of the pencil. Okay, oh, there goes my pencil. All right, next thing I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and tint your darks with your darker tone. So I can see here that this tone is just slightly darker. All right, in certain areas. Now I'm not going over everything, just the areas where I see that it's just slightly darker, I can go ahead and tint that a shade darker. After that, I want you to use your white, and I want you to burnish where your highlight is. Now you might go in and burnish over certain tones and different areas, and that's fine too, all right? Because the great thing about colored pencil drawing is you are layering. So just because you have this first layer doesn't mean you can't go in and start to add more. So I might go in and say, you know what, this is actually just slightly darker, and I want to make that more of a fade. So I'm gonna go from pressing down hard to pressing down light to exaggerate that fade. Or maybe I want this to be just slightly darker in this area. All right, or maybe I wanna go in with my dark and just very lightly exaggerate areas of shadow. I could do that, but what I don't want you guys to do is just to go in and start to just outline things. That's not what I want. I want you guys to try to make this look somewhat realistic, okay? And however you can do that in your layering, I want you to try it, okay? And again, the steps in this video or in this assignment are there to help you. You're gonna do the entire pencil. I'm just doing a section so that you guys can have more time to work today, all right? Okay, so now that I'm starting to get it to look somewhat 3D, I'm also gonna focus on that area, that cast shadow. That's gonna be slightly darker, so I'm gonna use the darker of my two colors there. Now you can work in the same color. You could work with a dark gray. That's up to you. I don't mind either way. I'm just gonna work with these same colors just because I think it's fun. But if you wanted to make it look even more real, you could go in and do this with a gray colored pencil or a black colored pencil. All right, fade out this edge just slightly. And you can see that most of what I'm doing, I am turning into wax. I don't want it to be overly grainy. I do my planning primarily at the beginning with the lighter pressure, just so I can make it start to look 3D, and then I gradually build towards burnishing a little bit more, okay? So you can see here, I'm starting to make it look like there is a cast shadow underneath the pencil. There is a degree of realism, that illusion of realism. And it's tricky, guys. It might not look amazing after 5 minutes, you know? You're gonna have to take your time to make it look somewhat realistic, okay? That's what I want from you today. Go ahead and submit your progress today, and good luck. You should spend about 1 hour on this, and remember to choose different colors than the one that you're drawing. Good luck, guys.